Hello and welcome to the Festool live demonstration. My name is Frank and I want to show you today the OF 2200, the topic of router. With me together, Nadia. Hello, Nadia.
Hi. I used to work as a wood floorer, and of course we also using some different routers, but all more the smaller ones. And the 2200 is more like a beast to me, and so I'm always a little bit scared about using it. And I hope Frank can help me to feel much more comfortable now with that machine.
You feel more comfortable for the OF 1010 or 1400?
Also, yeah.
And you see it here on that wall. So we have here the router, and I know that in the last movies, videos, what we show, we talk about the OF 1010, and you will find also a lot of videos on YouTube channel from the OF 1400. And that is why we talk now today about the OF 2200. And it's also my favorite tool.
I know you always smile when you talk about this one.
Right, absolutely. Before we start with that, important thing is, of course, what kind of router bit we can use for that big tool. And we see also on the wall a lot of different router bits, and I can show you a little bit closer. So, for example, we have here the 12 millimeter shaft routers, so that is the diameter. Then we have also the 8 millimeter router bits, a little bit smaller, like that one. Come on. And you will find also on the market the size 6 millimeter and also these inches, what you will find in US market and also in the UK
That's
market.
right.
And also these router bits you can use on the OF 2200.
All of these.
All of these.
Yes.
But
So I think, but the 6 millimeter, it's not necessary to work with a 6 millimeter bit inside of this huge machine. I think that makes no sense.
Yeah. But what you need is these kind of collets. And I think some of you knows that. We have different collets with 6 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and also up to 12 millimeter. And in the delivery and the content of delivery from the OF 2200 is always 12 millimeter and 8 millimeter included.
The most used one, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you can use all these router what we have in our portfolio. Also important to know is that we have here one copy ring. This is a special copy ring, and you see this is in a little bit other shape, like the copy ring on the OF 1010, sorry, and also on the 1400. And the diameter is
30 millimeter, I guess. It's everywhere. I think on all of these routers, it's the same diameter.
Right. We have 30 millimeter, but of course you will find a lot of other sizes for other applications.
And maybe that's the point.
Exactly, because
where we have
when you see here all these accessories, this is a chip deflector, what is also really helpful. How it works, I will also show you today. But this is all what you will find in the content of the delivery from the OF 2200, and this is, more or less not so much.
So we also sell the set version, and this is a really cool thing. And we always would recommend just bought the set version, because you do have everything what you need in this little box here, and so you can do the most of the things what you have to do.
A lot of application you can use with that accessories. How that works and in which way you use that, I want to show you now.
Cool.
And this is, I think, really helpful for you.
I'm looking forward to
Okay. So then let us start with the router. And for application, so the first application what I want to do with you or to show the people is to make here a profile on the edge, also on the wood, sorry, head wood also, and for that please choose a router bit. What do you think? What kind of router bit
I
you can
would
use? Do it a little bit slowly that the camera can follow you.
I would prefer this one. So it's a half circle. I
Half
would
circle,
say, right?
And when you look at here, we have here the same ratch system like on the OF 1400.
1400, that's
And this
true.
is really convenient. So only what you need now is your collet. This is a 12 millimeter, is that one. And then you can mount it here on place.
Thank you for that. So, and I will bring in this router bit here.
Right. On the shaft from that router bit, you will find also some marks.
Yeah, there are some little marks how deep you have to get in to the collet. Sometimes if you don't see this mark anymore, so you have to go in 2/3 of the yeah,
2/3 of the shaft length.
exactly.
This is the minimum. So that is important that you have a really strong hold from that router bit.
So now I can see here the signs. So I want to bring the router bit in. I just pull that trigger here.
Right.
And then I will use my wrench.
And maybe you can hear it a little bit when it clicks. That is the ratch function. Really convenient to work with that.
It should be enough.
And tight enough, right. So the next thing is we work now without a ball bearing because we have two different routers normally. One router with a ball bearing for guiding, and the other one is without a ball bearing. So we need a second accessory, and in this way we work with a parallel stop. And in our box we will find here a really nice one. Look
And
like that one.
sometimes it's much better to work with this side stop because of the bearing. If you resharpen your router, your bit, so it's getting smaller and smaller, but the bearing stays on the same size, and then we could have a problem then.
And when you resharp that router bit, you have no issue. You can always adjust it. And that is always the thing that sometimes it is better to work and efficiency to work with a ball bearing or to work with a parallel stop. So you can mount now the parallel stop here on the OF 2200, and what I like is you have only one of that big black screw, and you can tighten it in a really convenient way. That's it. And so I have everything on place, and when you look now in which way I can
really quick, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely, really quick, and I can guide it in a really nice way. And you told me that you are not right.
So I'm a left-handed person, and you know all of the other router bits, they have one handle here, and I'm always staying in the wrong way because I am left-handed. It's sometimes you have to find your own way how to handle this router, and it's a little bit tricky sometimes. And this is a good thing on that one because you have to use both hands, and you cannot go this way, so you really stand in the right position.
Right.
And this should be a thing, or it is a thing, but I'm impressed. But let's go for it.
And this is also the point, because the router bit, he turns clockwise, and for that you have also to move it in this direction. Otherwise you have sometimes a little bit of a kickback and also not so nice surface on the router. Okay, that is adjusted, but now I want to make here on that edge a really nice profile with that half circle groove cutter. And for that I just first the cutting depth. This means I go now down with my router.
0, okay.
I lock it here on the side, and I have
same,
both hands on my tool. For your understanding, we have here more or less 2.5, 3 horsepower. So this is really strong, really powerful tool, and for that it's
isn't it a wonder that I'm scared a little bit about this?
No. You can hold it with both hands, and then it's feels really convenient. Okay, I go down on the surface, and then I have here on the side, and now I want to bring that in that position that the camera can see it a little bit better. I have here my fine adjustment, so I have here my revolver, stopper, and so 3 different heights, and we see here, maybe the camera can see that, a special stopper. This is like a rebate, so we have 2 different steps, 2 millimeter difference, and what that's mean, I want to show you a little bit later in another application, but here we start now first with that stopper.
We don't have it on the other routers.
Right.
Function like that, and I haven't seen it on other competitors. Or
no. We have it only here, and this is really helpful for fine routing. So now we go down. Here also down. Go a little bit in this way. I hope I can see that. And you see here the 0 point now. And if that not in the right position with an Allen key, because here's a small screw, you can also fine adjust it that you have always the perfect level. 10 millimeter deepness. So we go up, and you see here the whole segment goes up to 10 millimeter. Tighten it with the lever, with the black lever, and
what about the speed?
Speed, when we work with solid material, you can use 6, the maximum speed. I have here on the side also small overview about the speed control.
Okay.
And of course, when it's necessary, I have possibility to use that or to adjust it when I work. So when I feel, okay, maybe this surface is burning, or I'm too slowly, so I need also a little bit slow speed, I can adjust it here.
So if you are a careful worker, so you have to slow the speed, slow down with the speed a bit, or?
It depends. You know, wood is always different.
Yeah.
So you have hardwood, softwood, you have different grains, and so you have always to adjust it and to test it. And it is also important for you to know before I go with my router on my original workpiece, I use always a sample to test it.
Okay, that makes absolutely sense.
Right, and this is also the same, so this is not the original, this is always the testing. But now we have here the right cutting depth. What I have to adjust now is the right position that I have here on my edge around a really nice profile. And here helps me that marks on the side. We have here a mark. I hope the camera can see that. And we have here also a mark. I bring it in that position here.
And on the other side too. So
and here also, upsala. Here also a small mark. That means we are always with that marks in the center from our cutter. And this is really helpful, because in that way I can now loosen that screw, bring it in position, and I have here my mark on the side, tighten it, and so now I have the rough adjustment to cut.
Pretty nice.
Here we have also a possibility to adjust the dust extractor hood. So like that one, this is here a green knob, and when I pull it, automatically goes.
And I really like that one, because if he comes down with the machine, so everything is sealed, closed, so the dust can go nowhere except into the dust extractor. It's pretty
good. So now let us try a little bit. And what we need, of course, is a little bit ear plugs. We have it here. And so everything is just. We need also a little bit power. Yes, good. 36 millimeter adjustment and a dust extractor, and this is also always a question from people: which size of dust extractor I can use, or which hose diameter I can use. And for that, I recommend a minimum 26 dust extractor sizes or dust extractor type, and also the 36 millimeter hoses for that router, because we produce a lot of big chips. Then we go down, tighten it on the left hand with that lock system, and important is that you switch on the machine with full speed into material, and then you move that direction. Okay? I want to show you. So you see here, really nice.
Yeah,
and
I
if you
like it.
you can do that also.
Yes, I will.
And then the next step is try to make the profile also in this direction. So to that point here, that we have a sample how it looks like in along the crane and also across the crane cutting. Try it. I stay with you.
I try to do my best. So it's still down, or you lifted it up?
Yeah. No, it's still down.
Okay.
It's okay. Important is that you are not in contact with the wood. So you switch it on, speed is maximum, and then you move to the surface. That is good.
Not on it. I like it.
Wow.
So it wasn't a bad feeling.
No?
So I feel pretty comfortable with the machine because it's running really, really smooth.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it's a little bit of the weight. You have to figure it out a little bit by yourself, and also I'm also a little bit scared. But it's working really very good, very good. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you have
You do that in a
power
really
or not.
in a really good way. And that is the advantage, because the tool is really heavy, and so you have a lot of horsepower, but you can move it in a really easy way and controlled way, of course.
Hmm?
So the next step is what I want to show, and what we can try is to make here in that direction a groove
I guess
with
you
the same
need
router, with the same groove cutter. And for that, of course, we need the rail, the guide rail. And this is this system from Festool. So we can use the guide rail for the, track saw. We can use it also for the router. And this is really helpful for the work. So I want to make first here a line like that one. And this is our target. And now let us turn a little bit. And before we, the clamps we need also. But let us adjust or let us mount first the adapter for this guide rail. And you see here we have this kind of adapter, and it fits similar, same like on the OF 1400 or the OF 1010.
Yeah, it looks a little bit different, but kind of the same. Yeah.
But you can't use it for this other router. You have you can use it only for the OF 2000.
Yeah, so you have different holes here
Right,
and
right.
different.
And maybe you can see you have also possibility to adjust it.
Yes, you can adjust it here with. I don't know if the camera can catch this. So you can see here 2 screws, and you can tighten those on the rail. It's like on the track saw, so that you have a really smooth guide for your machine.
For your understanding, we have here also a possibility to mount a accessory on that parallel stop, a second dust extractor or dust extractor connection, and this is also sometimes helpful for
Yeah, it
different
is amazing.
applications.
We can really talking about dust free.
Yeah, when you look here on the floor, there's more or less nothing. Okay, so let me look here. Upsala. So we need also the same metal sticks like on the parallel stop. And a small tip from my side: if you need longer sticks, some application that is necessary, you need longer sticks. These are 10 millimeter diameter, and you will find it in the market also longer sticks, and then you can use that also here on
And
the.
it's just stable working with it,
Absolutely. You will see it now when we
that's
work
really cool.
with that one. So you use it here on the adapter. And I like it because we have here also on the backside fine adjustment, so that you can also 1/10 of millimeter fine adjust it in that direction. And so we disconnect it. Then we mount it here on top. But before I do that, you see when I work now here on the guide rail, I have always a little bit this wibbling.
That's true. And so then this guy came. No,
No.
it's the wrong one. Hold on.
That
that
looks
one.
much better. Can you show that in the camera? What does it mean, and what is
So I have
helpful?
to be very carefully. So you see that little step here. It's around about 5 millimeter. And so we can catch the right height for like the guide rail. So it's around about 5 millimeter. And so we can make a really straight cut with it.
Right. Maybe you remember when you work with the 1010 or 1400, you have on the side here in that area a small, I said feet or
It's also something like a guide,
A
just
guide.
keeps it up a little bit.
a black plastic guide, and
Yeah.
that is helpful. But we design here that base because this is much heavier, and so you have more convenient work.
And to change those bases,
This is really
so this is
convenient. Green
the
lever,
next thing was
like that one,
perfect.
and then pull it up. That's it.
Put the next one in.
So I show it in the same time, so here, and that maybe the camera can see that.
So it is really easy mounting of all the different bases. It's perfect.
you
So
don't
you're
need
very quick.
You don't need tools
While
or something
working.
else. So now we mount here that. So, and I recommend always that when you work with the guide rail and the routers, that you are always with the base plate a little bit on that green sliders here, because then it's really easy to move. Only thing is, of course, that you have the router bit always in the focus, because otherwise you cut the guide rail.
Yeah,
the
you
guide
don't
rail.
want to cut in to the guide rail. So
That
definitely
is important. And also important is you never work with the splinter guard here and the router. So that is not possible to use now a splinter guard and the router bit. So this is a totally other
So
application.
you better not catch the splinter guard. too.
Right, it's much better. So now I bring it in place. I work also with my marks here, and before I do that, just a moment, I want to tighten here these black screws. And now I bring it in place. I need my clamp. It's really helpful.
You're good?
Here, just a moment, I bring it also in place on you. You want to go a little bit this way. More. Okay. Okay. And now we can tighten it. So.
Good.
I hope it works. Yeah, perfect. Only thing what we have to adjust is the cutting depth, because now we are 5 mm higher. You remember?
I
And that is
remember.
also what I can adjust here. So we have now 10, 5 mm higher, like that one. And now we can make a small check, down, tighten it, and we see here. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Good. So then I can
Okay.
this. Just a
So
second, you need power.
Yep.
Ready to go.
Yep. And then my plugs in. Okay. Fit.
I would say really nice.
Amazing. I like
Awesome.
And that is perfect. You know, you have so much power, so you can work with a big router also, and that material is no issue. This is you can't feel it really. The next thing what I want to show is how you can work with a ball bearing router. So before we go to the copy ring and the chip deflector, I want to work with a ball bearing router.
Okay.
And we have here on the other side,
So if you say ball bearing router, it's just where the bearing is underneath.
right on the wall, you can choose a rounding router. Do it a little bit slowly that the camera can catch that. What kind
Something
of
like that?
router we have here. And these are all with that ball bearings. And that is the router what we use now. Maybe you can show that a little bit
Hold on.
closer to the camera. And you see here that small ball bearing ring helps me to guide on the surface. Really helpful. And yes, please connect the machine, and then we want to change the route a bit.
Okay.
You can do
There
that.
is it. There
I
is one.
clean up a little bit the other
So that
material.
works the same as in the beginning. Open it one time. Then I will go to the next stop. And then I go with the second one. And here it is.
Thank you.
So then we can go in with the second to the mark. And the first what I do, I tighten it with my fingers first. I'm sorry, I don't wear any gloves, but for the moment I don't need those. And then I just fix it with the wrench.
Super
That's
duper.
it.
And now I want to show you in which way you can fine adjust these cutting depth in combination with that stoppers here, with that rebate system, and also what does it mean, that small lock system. And for your understanding, when we have here two different steps, that is the first step when I can rough routing, and that is the precise adjustment for the fine routing. And this is really helpful when I have these kind of application what I show you now. So for the fine adjustment, I go that way, that first of all I connect the base with the motor, and that is possible with that small, just a moment, with that small green knob. So when I turn it this side, it's connected, and you can see that how that works. So when I tighten now this black lever, then it's connected, and I have possibility to fine adjust here in a really simple way, and that helps me to bring that in a really good level. But before we do that, and Nadia, you show me the base.
I think it's better to work with a bigger base like that, that you are more comfortable while
and
using the
that
machine.
That is exactly the right point, because with that surface on that base, it is sometimes not so nice to work here.
No, it's not a nice handling. It doesn't look like that.
Now we can also change the base, and this is also not the right one. We have the base for the guide rail system. And
there
here,
you go.
Pretty good. A really stable surface. And you see that is pretty good to work. We have a wide extension, and so you can move it really good on the edge when you work with that kind of ball bearings. So, yes, I have now connected the base and the machine, and for rough adjustment I bring now the router in a position that I really close to the surface with the end of my knives from the router bit, and then I tighten here this lever.
And then
then just a moment, I show you, and then also really nice and convenient is that you can the router,
because it's flat on the top,
on this table like that one, because this is flat.
Yeah, this is also really nice.
And
so
maybe Nadia, you can try it to bring that in one level.
I will try again.
Maybe from this side, that he can see that a little bit better.
Do you
from
see
the
it better
camera.
this
Just
way?
Like that one, like this one. Is this okay?
But it feels like.
Oh, I have a good eye.
Yeah, I have to have this eye.
Not here.
That's the wrong one. Where is it?
Here.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, right. When you turn here, then you can find it just in a tenth of millimeter up and down. You can do the little bore that you see the difference.
I will go this way.
Okay, perfect.
We will see.
This is really helpful. I like that you can here really fine adjust the height, and so you will find directly the right position.
Good. So go for it.
This way. You know,
I will
distance.
go this way. The distance. I always forget the distance.
Okay. So now we tighten here. We loosen that now, and now we go back. And the first step is to adjust it here in the rough routing, so that
For
we
the
are a little
first
bit
step.
higher. Huh?
Yeah.
Of course, dust extraction. And here
I will
also.
take care of the power.
And now maximum speed.
Now what?
And so we tried to work. So this is rough sanding, so it's not perfect, but when we go now in the fine sanding, so 2 millimeter deeper, maybe there's also sometimes brand marks also, or burning marks.
Yeah.
Then I do it again.
Just clean it up.
And you see,
So how was my adjustment?
perfect. Perfect.
Oh,
really
I'm so
good.
glad to hear that.
Hey, this is really good. And that is exactly the point. So you have in a really short time adjust this big router.
Yeah.
Huh? You don't need more time. So this is in tenths of millimeter. You can fine adjust that beast.
So it's perfect also for this hard wood, so because you don't feel this hard wood. It is really easy to moving forward. It's smooth, so it feels really, really good. So I
Right.
have to accept that.
One sample with a chip deflector. And for that we need, we use it in other material. And the camera can show, George, you can
Or
show
something like
the
a
other material. This
Varicore.
is solid surface material. I think you know it also, this material.
Yeah, it's
Nadia.
like Varicore and or what do you want?
Varicore and
Exactly.
yeah, a lot of other brands. And this is a mixed compound about acrylic inside, and this they use it sometimes in bathrooms,
Yeah.
toilets, and sometimes
I
there's
never
also
use it on the floor. If you wanna
yeah,
ask
why
that.
not?
I don't know.
Too soft. I
It's
think
too soft
I think
material.
there's too much scratches on it.
Okay.
But normally you use it never ever high gloss, always with a what is that?
But you also use it in kitchens, on kitchen tops, right?
Yeah, but not in high gloss.
Okay,
About scratches.
I got it.
But I like that material because you can use it in a really, really easy way, and you can cut it, you can sand it. It's perfect. But for that, we have also special routers, and maybe the camera can show us that. We have here solid surface router bit, and for that application, we have a special router with a ball bearing. This is not metal. This is yeah.
It's like a plastic.
Right. And with that we have
rubber.
really we have no scratches on the surfaces here, and that is helpful. And so now we have to change, of course, the
Hold
router
on.
bit. Thank you.
Okay.
And also what we need now is to use the
catcher.
chip deflector,
The chip catcher.
the chip catcher, right? Sometimes people ask me also, Frank, you have two stops here in that system that you can loosen and
That you can lose it from the collet.
right? So there is
What you
always
call it?
two stops there, and then you can loosen it in an easy way. So now we mount the flush router bit, tighten it a little bit, and same procedure. I like that brush system. This is really convenient. And here,
Yep.
the chip deflector works also really easy peasy. That way, chip deflector on place. This is magnetic.
So
It's
there are no other adjustments. You just have to
No.
bring it in
right.
and then clip the base back again to the machine.
That's it. Then we have to fine adjust the cutting height or cutting depth. We loosen the screw, look it down, and the target is now to make here that overlapping flush, because normally that is glued together, and then I make a rounding of flush surfaces. And that material to cut or to routing, this is so much dusty and
I
chipped,
bet.
and I want to show you how easy is it to work it now with
Okay.
that one.
I will take this. Ready?
Yeah. Nothing, no chips, no dust, and a
That's really
really
amazing.
nice work with that chip deflector.
Pretty cool.
Right. So let us jump to the next application.
Yeah, I have seen this application in the back.
Right.
And this is one of these applications what we had using on the for the wood floorer. So we have to cut sometimes, of course, also the front doors, and they do have a door seal in the door. mounted inside. So, and of course you have to cut the door a bit. So you have to remove this, and you have to cut the door, and then you have to make this groove again. And for this, we used to work with a track saw, and so this was very dangerous. I haven't done it before because I said to my boss, I don't want to do that. It's too dangerous for me. You can do that. And then he made himself a template and cut couple of times through the material. And really, it was nice to look at him. And I started with Festool, and I have seen that one, but I have never known about this before.
That is really helpful. That is the router 8.
Yeah, so it's also something like a template, so
Right.
you can just...
And only what you need is a router, a copy ring,
The 30mm copy ring.
right? Fits here together. And how you can use that copy ring, I want to show you here. So this is also really tricky. You don't need a eccentric or center tool. Only what you have to do is to bring it on place.
So
This
like
is
the
also
chip
magnetic.
catcher.
Sorry?
Like the chip catcher.
Like the
it
chip
fits in.
catcher, bring it on place like that one. And this is also helpful. You see here that straight line, so you can bring it in position. So this is always stable.
Yeah.
And Nadia, in the box behind you, there are also some other copy rings that I can show the people.
Yeah,
the
there are
difference.
different
And also
sizes.
the base. Thank you very much.
You're
And you
welcome.
see here the base and a lot of different copy rings, what you can use for different application. And then you bring it on place, the base plate on place, and that's it. And in combination then with that, you can mount it, you can screw it on all our routers.
Yeah, there are different holes on top, and
Right.
every hole is for the different routers.
Maybe
Right.
you can show the camera how, or the people of course, how you can use it in that way, and that door.
So you have to adjust first the two screws of the thickness of your materials, then you can go to the center, or wherever do you want the groove. Fix this. So it's already mounted, and you just have to bring it on top. So you never have to hold it also. It holds from alone. The only thing what you have to do, you have to move it the right way. And that's it. And it's really easy. You have to make two steps, or do you have
You
three?
can do in 2 steps. This is
And it's
clean it
very
up.
easy and safe to
absolutely
work with that one. So I really have loved this one, and it's perfect to use the 2200 for it. I think you can use, if you don't use it too often, with a 1400
You
too.
can use it also with the 1400.
But it's working really good with this one.
Also
Also the
these-
suction, it works very, very good when you come into the material.
Also, these kind of lock system in the doors is also really helpful with that router bit. We have here a special router bit with a groove, with a rebate possibility, because we have here different steps, and this is also really nice, and the people use that really often. Then also, when we talk about template, when we talk about copy rings, when we use that kind of hinges, you know, maybe the Siemens Welke, Siemens Welke, we have also possibility to make that kind of routing. And I want to show, or I want to make in the next month also a Festool TV video for that application. But please follow me to other application what I want to give you in a few minutes, or in an overview. You see here the kitchen board template. This is really helpful with that kitchen boards to connect it. You will find also on the YouTube Festool TV channel a lot of videos. Then of course the MFS 400 system. And what I like is, you see here we have produced that stair and we mount, or we routing the stairs with that MFS system together. So we have here a really nice construction, and you can move the whole template, and then you can bring it in position with the copy ring. You can copy here the shape, and can cut out that material for the steps, and also for these boards here. So you see a lot of application what we can do with our OF 2200.
Yeah, Frank. So it was very, very helpful for me, and I really fell in love now with the tools. Really nice.
Thank you very much,
Thank you for
Nadia.
that.
And I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye bye.